the Kika.
The teacher told my mother about my behavior being teaching.
Right, thank you. That ends our daily language starter for today. Our lesson for today, we are going to examine the writing topic on informative text. The goal is to evaluate an example literary analysis introduction in order to compose yours. So if you look at the iPad that you have, zooming over, we're going to first talk about what we are examining in our own, which is the criteria. What does the word criteria mean? Tasia.
Criteria mean like
Criteria. When I say the girl has to have a certain criteria.
Yeah, some
requirements. Requirements. Octavia, anything you want to add? Specific details. That is correct. So at your iPad there is a poll. It says which criteria of the horror genre, which we have been focusing on and which you will write on, is easily identified within stories you have previously read. Which of the criteria can you easily identify? Okay, you have your poll, you just pick your answer and send it. All horror genres or horror stories include monsters?
no.
No. Okay. So that's just a brief poll on what we are used to seeing is suspense. In your literary analysis, you had to choose a certain criteria in order to write your essay. But before we continue writing ours, we have to ensure that we are able to evaluate and understand what we're writing. On your iPads, we also have the literary analysis introduction. The first thing in your introduction would be a hook. Somebody, could you tell me what a hook is? Yes, Caitlin.
A hook is something that will want to make the reader read more of your essay.
Make the reader read more, as well as, what else? Octavia. Get their attention. Okay? Also on the outline, you have background information. What does that represent? Details. Also, your background information will represent your summary. Okay, brief summary. Title, author, and genre. What am I looking for when I say the title, author, and genre? The Kika. The tag. The title of what?
The story.
The story that will be evaluated. Do I need to include the author?
Yes.
Does everybody know why? What does an author do?
Write the story.
Right, so we need to be able to identify who we are evaluating. Now that we also know what goes in a literary analysis introduction, and then we know that our first sentence is what? Just the review? Is your what? Attention getter. Okay, you have a question. Which phrase is an appropriate attention getter? And it is on there. The phrases read, happiness sometimes comes at a cost. Or the other phrase, I'm going to talk about how you will not be happy if you had a lot of problems. Explain why the phrase is appropriate and why the other phrase is not. So take about 2 minutes to type in your answer. Which of those are appropriate attention getters? We use to answer open-ended questions. A strategy. The A stands for. The C stands for. And the E stands for elaborated. Okay, so making sure that you continue to use the A strategy on there. Okay, so our question, what phrase is an appropriate attention getter? Happiness comes at a price. Okay, you should see one on your iPad. She chose happiness sometimes comes at a cost. What would be the most appropriate phrase because it is stating something at a simple level for the reader to understand. The other phrase is too long and includes opinion about what he or she thinks, and it will be hard to understand. Does anybody agree with her?
I do.
Okay, somebody explain why, Jacoby.
I do because, like she said, it's too long and he includes opinion, which will make it seem like that's not in the story, that's what she thinking. She already thinking.
What you are going to do at this point, remember we talked about introductions, and I wanted to briefly show you the attention giver so that we'll know, and it'll help us identify the ones. On your desk you have boxes, and in them there are purple papers. As a group, you are going to take those out and put together the introduction. You have to identify the hook, identify the background information, identify your tag, and identify your thesis statement. Okay, and in your groups you are going to discuss. Your discussion leaders already know their roles. They are familiar with them. Okay, so you need to make sure you spread those out so you can see. You have to put them in order, which will create a whole introduction. Also use your literary analysis paper in order to guide you when you're putting them together. Any questions? Does everybody understand your directions? Okay, you may begin. You have about 5 minutes. Okay, as you're putting them together, make sure you identify the key words as far as why is this? How do I know that this is the background information? How do I know that this is the title, author, genre? Can we infer what the writer is going to be talking about within the essay?
It's in the middle.
Okay, so what are you looking for? Your first sentence based off of this. Your first sentence based off of this. Your attention is.
That's the short story.
I think this is. So remember, you identifying your based off of what it is. So you identifying your background information. Your background is what?
This one be the attention giver. Cause it's a grade is a saying of exists that every single human being has at least ability. So if this one, what other one you said was it? This one is the other attention giver. Can it be But this one says when someone has the opportunity to get as much of something as they possibly can, they will go to great lengths to get everything out of it. I don't know.
Okay, about 2 more minutes.
Yeah. Your mind's by your foot. Or Mario.
Okay, what I have put up on the iPad, since some of you have them already put together, it says ready to take a quiz, just to verify what you have learned through this. Is it correct?
We can put these three and these two. This already.
So now you have identified this. Typically, how I know this is like the author and genre.
Taking the title, author, and the genre.
Which also what is that? Does white family experience to be tested read? It's already telling you an idea. Okay. So whenever you write in your essay, you can further see your format. Okay? That's the purpose of you making sure that you understand how it goes so you can apply this strategy to when you're writing. Okay. Okay, so if you're doing that one, then the format is still the same no matter the story. The format is gonna always be the same on your outline. Okay. Wants to share their answer. Yes, Kamaria.
Like say.
Yes.
And the attention getter is greed is a sense of excess that every single human being has at least a little bit of. When someone has the opportunity to get as much of something they possibly can, they will go to great lengths to get everything out of it.
That is correct. Why are those two sentences my attention getter? Because they what? Not only do they capture the attention of the reader, they are giving you an input on what the essay focuses on, or maybe the theme as well. So don't forget, in your attention getters, your theme may also be included. Okay, so move those two sentences out the way. We have our attention getter. Okay, the next part will be our what? Background information. Destiny, could your group please read the background information?
In the story, The Monkey's Paw by W.W. Jacobs, the White family experiences a big test of greed, and they even hampered with the fate to get it. Before the whites even knew about the paw, they were living a normal life. They were living a normal but decent lifestyle that got them by day to day without any troubles.
What is the title of the story that this introduction goes with?
The Monkey's Paw.
And who is the author?
WWWG.
Okay, so I could identify that based on what she read, as well as the events that occurred within the story. If someone has not read your story and they read your analysis, then your background information gives them an insight on what it's going to be about or what occurs and what you will be analyzing. My thesis statement, what group wants to read that? Thank you, Lindaria.
Once they receive this one idol in their life that could bring any three wishes that they could possibly think of, their mind was set altered, and their greediness to change their faith led to destruction of their family.
Okay, as well as you got one more sentence to add on to that. Atavia.
Jacob uses the greed, the danger of temporary faith, and for to portray the terrible events that happened to the wives.
Okay, thank you. So they both read parts of our thesis statement. Tell me, why is that the thesis? How do I know that is the thesis? The Kika.
Because like they tell in them two sentences, they tell what happened in the entire story.
Okay, they tell what happens in the entire story, or what the author is going to write about, and get out your introductions that you have already written. You are going to assign them to the outline that you just went over. Okay.